welcome back to Watch Talk Across the Pond. I am here with Dean from One to Watch. How's it going, Dean?
Hey, all right, mate. Yeah, so you're sounding really pro there. This is, can't believe it, our second episode. Last time was a bit of an introduction.
Of
So
course,
to
the
get
first
into
one was a
the,
rough draft, of
yeah,
course.
just get into the talk today. And I think what's the topic? Rolex?
We're going to be talking about Rolex today, which is going to be really interesting. I think that we have a lot of great questions. And you know that Rolex is re-releasing some watches. I'm not re-releasing, is releasing some new watches coming up soon for their 2021 line. And that's why
Yeah.
everyone's talking about Rolex. That's what the hot topic
So
is.
this is quite topical. I did actually catch the ID guy,
Mm-hmm.
which was quite interesting. He sort of is very much into the design, and he done some design and predicting what's coming out and whatever. I think that was about a day ago.
Mm-hmm.
I caught up with that this morning, so I think that's about the only anything to raise Rolex I've sort of had to do with for a bit. So I did sort of pick that vibe up. Yeah,
So here's the main question, Dean.
yeah.
Have you ever owned or held a Rolex?
Uh, Embarrassing now. No, I've
No.
actually I've actually sort of seen Rolex in the shops
Uh-huh.
and shop windows, and from that distance I can see the quality.
Hmm.
I've got a real keen interest because obviously
You must look
the
like a little girl in a little girl in a puppy shop
in a
window at those
candy shop.
watches,
Yeah,
just like, oh
yeah,
my god, you must be
yeah.
staring through the glass at those puppies, huh?
Yeah, a child in a candy shop, sort of just looking and realizing that you haven't got quite enough pocket money to go in the shop and buy one or whatever.
I feel
Um,
you on that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're well,
Do
it's
you have
not
a lot
just
of boutiques where you are? Boutiques or boutique? How I don't know how you say it,
yeah,
but
not many. I mean, from where I live, there's one in Sheffield, there's one in Nottingham. That both I think Nottingham's about 30 miles from where I live.
Mhm.
Sheffield Centre's probably about 20, 25. I think there's probably one in Derby. So I think they're all about 25, 30 miles away. Sort of
Well, that's not too bad, I guess. Yeah,
probably,
I'm
probably
like
not too
20
bad.
20 miles away too for a Rolex dealership. My one that I actually usually go to just closed down. They stopped dealing with Rolex and they moved to Shinola, believe it or not. Shinola,
Wow.
the
Wow. Yeah,
the
yeah.
American brand. Have you heard about them? Shinola,
I
they're made
have,
in
yeah. They're
Detroit.
supposed to be pretty good
100% American. They're supposed to be pretty
quality.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know much about that particular
me
brand.
neither.
It's
I
not
know
not one
nothing
we've
about them.
had much over here, but I've heard that there's definitely a quality associated with that. What did something happen with Schnoller? Did they do something like make a fake Rolex or something? Did they?
They're
Was
known
there
for homage
something?
watches.
Was it
Yeah, they're
just
known for
homage?
homage watches. Yeah. Oh no,
Mm.
was it Shinola? Yeah,
That might have
Shinola.
been
Yeah, I believe
something.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can't quite
Yeah.
remember anyway.
I
So,
know it's hard
so
to keep up with
yeah, very
everything.
little experience. But with me, it's not always about actually. A lot of people like to just buy and own these sort of products, but with me, I think it's just like I, admiring them,
Hmm.
and I've got no immediate desire to go and buy a Rolex. But
Hmm.
I think if I had an excuse, like it
You
was a special,
married Caroline.
yeah,
Caroline, when
well,
you get married,
if I
are
got
you
married,
are
if
you buying yourself a Rolex?
it was a special birthday, yeah. I mean, if I could get on the waiting list, I've got.
Which one would you
I'm not
get?
poor. I could afford
Yeah,
one,
of
but
course.
I don't. At the minute, want to just go and buy one for the sake of it. And
Hmm.
there's always this fear that the bubble might burst. I sort of think to myself now, I've been collecting about 6 years. Yeah, I should have
We'll
bought one
get to
six
that.
years ago. But then in 5 or 6 years time now, I'm thinking I'll be saying, oh, I should have bought one 6 years ago. And, knowing my look at what always happens when I suddenly put money into something, the bubble bursts. So,
Here's the here's the best way I can describe that feeling. As a Rolex owner, by the way, here's the best way I can
mm,
describe it is that it's one of those watches that the bubble bursts a little. It's like any
mm,
new toy.
yeah,
Like we're all kids at heart. You get it, you play with it for a few months, and then it just becomes another watch, just like
mm,
any other watch. But it's one of those watches that I think that like if you have the means or if you have the ability, it's a perfect, like you said, celebration watch.
I
And
think
it's one of
so.
those watches
Yeah.
that like is great to have. And you end up loving it, even though your bubble does get burst. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's one of those
it'd
things.
be really nice associated with something like a special birthday, a special event.
Exactly.
It's like, I suppose it's like a sort of champagne, isn't it? You can enjoy really good quality champagne to
Hmm.
celebrate something, and you'd probably just drink cheap sparkling wine the rest of the time. You don't need, and then it's even more special. So I think I will. I thought about this actually, because I knew we were doing this episode, and I thought I will at some point in time in my life buy a Rolex,
Okay.
and I will buy what I want. I think, well, this is the one I want, and I know we're perhaps going to talk about different ones, and I like most of what they produce, so it's going to
Well,
be a hard choice.
do you have a favorite?
Um, oh, now you're asking. So I did make some notes, so don't forget. There's 5 or 6 I like, to be honest.
Well, if you had to pick
Um,
out of that 5 or 6 list, if you had to pick one holy grail of that six,
it's it's
it's
it's a,
tough.
it's a tough one because I think I think it's getting more popular now, but the one that has never been as popular, so it would, and sometimes it's nice to be a bit different to everybody
Mhm.
else, but it is gaining popularity. Is the Milgauss,
Oh, of
the
course.
the,
Yeah.
the the one that's blue and it's got that the sapphire crystal's got
Lightning
that green
bolt.
green
Yep.
tint and it's got
Yep.
like orange bits on and bits and pieces. That just it's very different, very unique,
It's
and
them
it's
being
not one that
big.
anyone's really copied or tried to get close to,
No.
and it's not that it hasn't in the past been the most popular,
Yep.
but having said that, I think it is like all Rolex gaining popularity. So I'd probably go for the Milgauss.
It's a
Um,
very good choice. It's a
would,
very
I
good
think
choice.
would be the one. So I want to hear about you because I think this. I'm more the sort of Seiko man. I think you're the Rolex. So what is your experience? Tell us about this Rolex you own, when you bought it and everything else.
So I bought my Rolex when I was probably like 18, 19. Well, I was in high school still, so 18, 17. I was
Wow.
old for my
Hmm.
grade. Um
Well
it
done.
was help, I paid for half of it. My parents paid for half of it as like a graduation sort of thing. I bought it as a what's it called? A at a estate auction. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
I bought it at an estate sale for 2 grand, around 2 grand. It was like two and
Yeah.
some change, and I had
That's
saved
right.
up 1 grand for it, and my parents matched.
Oh
So like it
wow,
was
that's
it
really
was one
good.
of those things
So
that was
it was a bit of
really
a
great.
gift off your parents as well. So that's
Yes,
nice
exactly.
for a
And
bit of an occasion.
so I didn't go to the auction house. My dad ended up going to the auction house and
Mhm.
getting it, and he surprised me with it for Christmas. And
Yeah.
so I grabbed it, and when I first got it, well, so before my dad and I had gotten fakes, right? And
Yeah.
before that, when we were younger, and I wanted to make sure because I knew more about watches than my dad, and my dad was looking for a good deal, and I kind of knew more, and it didn't come with a case or anything. So when I first got it, I was a little weary about it because my bubble was burst. I was like, this just doesn't feel what I thought a Rolex. In my head, there's a grail, like there's an
Mm,
aspect to it. I thought like
mm.
what I compared my best watch to compared to what this watch felt like at the time felt nothing, few and far between. I'll show you the band feels cheap somewhat. So the Jubilee bracelet specifically, like see how it kind of like here's it straight. Watch, it looks like a limp dick.
Okay.
Watch, look, it's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
soft on me.
yeah,
And I'm sitting here, I'm going, this is supposed to be the best, what I thought at the time.
yeah, yeah.
This is supposed to be the best watch in the universe. That's what I
Okay.
thought, right?
Yes. Mm,
So I'm thinking it's fake. And I didn't want to tell my dad that. I didn't have the heart to say
mm,
that. So I
mm,
kept it my mouth shut and I kept it in the drawer for a while,
mm.
or in my collection for a while, and didn't think twice about it. One day I'm drunk at Foxwoods. It's a casino, local casino. We go to a Rolex dealer, and I'm looking at the ones that were in the shop, and I'm comparing to mine, and they just felt completely different. And I'm like, you know what? Mine's got to be fake. So I bring it to a place, and they checked it out, and it was real. And I
Oh
was like,
wow.
wow.
Yeah.
I
Mm,
apologized to my dad because I was like, I'm sorry,
mm,
dad. Like, yeah, I thought it
mm,
was fake because I mentioned it when I went to that dealership. I'm like, dad,
mm.
I think we got
Yeah.
screwed over. And he
Yeah.
got all defensive. He was kind of hurt, and I was wrong
Yeah.
on that part. But so yeah, I love it. Now I've grown to like it. It's one of those things that ages with wine. It's like wine. It like ages and
Mm,
like refines with time. Like as
yeah.
I've gotten older, my style's changed.
Mm,
This is a great watch to wear, and I just love what I love about wearing it is it's so subtle. I could be in
mm,
class wearing a, you know, it costs it's like a $6,000 or $5,000 watch now, but I could be
mm.
in class wearing a five thousand
Wow.
dollar watch and no one would
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
not one person.
You've done. I mean, that's done really well, hasn't it? So you've had it about 7 years, 7 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's increased 250% since
Yeah.
the date just itself has increased
Mm,
250 80%, I think, since
Mm.
whenever it was introduced, 1926 or something.
Yeah.
Um, because of and that's according to TimeRatings.com. I
Mm.
did the math on that, but I
Yeah.
didn't write it down. I'm sorry.
Wow, that's brilliant. So
Yeah, so it's one of those
it's
watches.
really nice. Yeah.
Now this kind of goes into the whole thing. Do I think it's worth it buying a Rolex? I
Mm.
think absolutely. I do think they're
Mm.
overpriced. See, you'd buy it new.
Mm.
I suggest buying it used because you buy
Mm.
it an entry level Datejust. You can get like an entry level
Mm.
Datejust, like an Explorer. You can get for like
Yeah.
3 grand, four
Yeah.
grand on
Yeah.
eBay.
Yeah.
And those things are only going to increase in value like over time.
Yeah.
And just sit on it, and you get that
Yeah.
prestige.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. I mean, I'm not sure about eBay. Do you think it'd be sort of safe buying on eBay for
So
a
I
Rolex?
would trust. There's certain dealers on there that get them 100% approved through
Mm.
eBay.
That's what I think you'd
I
need.
would do
Yeah.
that, and I would also check the Joma and the shops that like you
Yeah.
can find them out there for under 4 grand, and
Yeah.
I think that's a steal. Especially think about it. Your
Mm.
wedding day, you and Caroline just climbed a mountain on your honeymoon. You're at the shops. You're downtown Bristol, wherever the hell you are, Nottingham. You just see a
Yeah.
beautiful Rolex in the window, and you think, hell yeah, used. Me and
Yeah.
Caroline. Oh, I ought to look at that. Me and Caroline just had to go at it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we did I think it was 2 years down at Valentine's Day. We bought each other a Seiko cocktail time.
Oh my god,
Um,
that's so. Was it
and
his and hers? Like, was it a female and a
yeah,
male?
yeah, they are just such
That's
great watches. I
so
mean, the
beautiful.
ladies is 36 millimeters, and the gents I think is about 40, 41. So just sort of put,
Perfect size.
they're just so good. And there's choices. I mean, there's a nice red one for the ladies. There's one or two different colors.
Hmm.
And for the men, you can get the blue one. You can get that sort of sky light blue, grayish one. Yeah. So, and I think it's pretty much the same with Rolex.
Hmm.
They've bought, certainly for ladies, they've bought a lot of very colourful Oyster perpetuals out now, haven't they? In the last
Yeah, they
year
do.
or two, I've noticed.
Well, the biggest thing for ladies now is wearing men's watches for
Mm,
Rolex.
mm,
You know
mm.
who started the trend? They say.
Vanessa
Um,
Redgrave in 1966 in Blow Up when she put it on the outside of a
oh
shirt.
my
Rolex.
My
Yes.
guy, my guy comes in hot with this. Oh my God, Dean the Machine. Can we call
Well,
you
there we
that, Dean
go.
Machine?
There we
I
go. Yeah, great
like
film
that,
as
brother.
well. Great British
Yeah, that was
film.
good.
Yeah, Blow Up. Yeah.
So yeah, and now in pop culture nowadays,
Mm,
Jen Aniston too is one of those influencers who wears
mm. Oh
big,
yeah, she likes
gaudy
Rolex.
Rolexes.
I've seen that
Um,
read about her, and
so
she's
that's
got quite a
hot
few.
these days. They're making
Mm,
less and less women's watches,
mm.
and now it's becoming more of a gender neutral,
I think so,
whatever.
and I think certainly around about 34 to 36 is quite a good size for ladies. But
Well,
and there's
mine's a
quite a lot of sort of
36,
there's a lot of
and
that's quite a
I don't think
sweet.
it looks lost,
Yeah, no, it's a good
especially when I
size
was at
that.
my heaviest, when I was 350
Mm.
pounds, 330
Looks
pounds.
really good on you. But just bring it closer to the camera. Let's have a look.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me
I
get
mean,
up. I'm
that's
in
a
my
great
underwear, so
watch.
we can kind of edit that out. But
Yeah, it's all the rage in England. People wearing the pajamas and things. Yeah. Oh, that is such a sweet watch. It's such a lovely
36.
color. That
It
sort of
looks so
goldy
bad.
look about it. Yeah,
Oh,
that's just
Dean,
that's.
here's what I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
do.
love
I'm gonna
that.
send you. I'll send you some videos of the
So
watch.
nice.
If you
So
want to
nice.
edit when we do the editing for this,
Yeah.
I'll send you some. I'll put in some cool videos of the watch
Yeah, that's
so
so
that they can
nice.
see
Yeah.
it on the screen.
Yeah.
When I do my edits for this. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so if you were going to buy another Rolex,
Mhm.
what would you buy? What's your sort of choice or a couple of choices?
So the next Rolex I would definitely get is between two Rolexes.
Yeah.
Now these aren't my favorite Rolexes. This is just more of a
Mm,
realistic goal. My
yeah,
my
sure.
two dream my two realistic goal watch Rolexes would be once I get my first job, I want to get an all white Rolex Explorer One.
Mm,
I mean no
nice.
Explorer, yeah. No,
Is it
no,
two
not
that do
Explorer One.
white?
I'm
Yeah,
saying
two.
Rolex Yachtmaster One.
Oh, Yachtmaster. Yeah, they're
A
nice. Yeah,
Yachtmaster One,
yeah,
all
yeah.
white with the white face and the red second hand.
Oh, yeah.
Very,
That that
very
that
beautiful
that would be
watch.
nice. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
snowflake white, and it's just it's a sexy watch.
Yeah, yeah,
Now I
no,
would
they're
definitely get
becoming
that.
more popular as well, aren't they? I believe the
Hell
Yacht
yeah,
Masters.
and it's
They
tough.
did they weren't that popular, but they seem to have really caught on a bit now.
And you can get them for like 7 grand, which isn't bad. I
Mm,
see them on eBay for around 7 to 8 grand.
mm,
Um, and it's I say 7 grand, but it's really like closer to 8. But
mm,
and then Another one I really want is a all gold Rolex Datejust. I want the
Mm.
presidential, so just so I can dress like a mobster. Sometimes I like to pretend like I'm
Mm.
really Italian. So like I
Bling,
don't know
bring
if you
on the
know this,
bling. Yeah,
I'm half Italian, and some days I feel
yeah,
really Irish and English. I'm English as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Some days
yeah,
I feel really calm and English
yeah.
and Irish, and then some days I come in a full leather jacket, hair slicked back, going "Gomba, como stai?" Freaking out,
Yeah,
with the leather jacket, and I think it would
yeah.
go good for those days when I'm feeling very
Sounds
Kindaloni.
sounds good. You can't. I mean, that's the thing with Rolex. You know, they don't look out of place. I think a lot of other watch brands, if they're a bit blingy, if you
Mm-hmm.
sort of have a mixture of silver and gold, most of the brands don't pull it off. I think with Rolex as well, they just seem to make their watches really good sizes, don't they? Like
They're not too
like
gaudy.
for the dive watches, 40 mil are quite thin,
Mm-hmm.
quite good look length. They just fit really well. So
Beautiful.
they've just got all the qualities, haven't they? The quality made. You've got all the um, right sizes, good, in-house good movement. So it's not surprising that they're popular and people like them.
Now, what's your opinion on Rolex as a company?
As a company, um, well, obviously, they're a long established company. They're
Mm-hmm.
obviously doing a lot of the right thing because they're very popular. Um, they, I believe, they spend a lot on marketing. They spend a lot more money than pretty much all the other top brands or any
Mm-hmm.
brand at all.
Of course.
Marketing does often pay. They've got a lot of sports people on in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So people, love to sort of wear the, similar watches to what their sporting and movie heroes wear. So I think that's really good advertising.
Of
Um,
course.
and I think the other thing is they make their watches really desirable, and
Mm-hmm.
part of that is
The
not
marketing.
making them easily available for one thing.
Exactly.
Um,
Limited
you
supply.
can't, I think if you can just walk in a shop and get a product,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't necessarily want to walk in a shop and get a product. It's
Exactly.
the minute, and I don't know if you've done this, where I've sort of, I've looked at a watch I quite like, maybe it's a micro brand, and it's limited to, I don't know, to 300 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been sort of thinking, and ahhing, shall I get it, shan't I? And I'm, some days I'm sort of, I wonder how many is left and not sure about that one. And then the minute it sells out,
Mm-hmm.
I so regret not buying that. And I so want it. And I'll almost go and try and buy it secondhand and pay a lot more for it. And thinking, why didn't I just buy it while it was available? So and I think that's the thing with Rolex, because you can't just go into, you only sell through dealers new.
Yep.
Um, and if you buy secondhand, you've got to be careful, obviously, that it's not fake.
Well,
I think it's
I
the
think
watch where
that's.
there is a lot of fakes around.
Mhm.
And I think that makes it desirable. It keeps the prices up. And I think, people are into watches like Rolex because of the quality
Mhm.
and, the designs and the quality. And then I think people who aren't watch people, it's the one brand they've heard of.
Mhm.
And there is that sort of, you know, I must have a Rolex just because it's a Rolex thing, which I'm not so keen on.
No, me
That's just,
neither.
I've got to have that object because, you
Because
know,
it's a name brand.
I want to
Yeah.
show off with it, and
Well, I think there's a
I think
certain
that's
amount
the
of show offiness that everybody secretly deep down buys a Rolex for. Just like you'll get that little tingle in your
mm,
your stomach when you show your friends like, hey, like look what I'm wearing right now. When you're out climbing and you're wearing a
yeah.
Rolex Explorer, you can be like, hey, buddy, look at this, and
Mm,
if
mm,
there's a certain
mm.
amount of success,
Yeah,
there's a beauty. The beauty of capitalism is every commoner can
yeah,
feel like
sure.
the king,
Yeah.
and that's
Well,
why
do
Rolex is the
I
way it
was
is.
I used to do quite a lot of like sailing, yachting, and things, and I've been asked by a couple of friends if I want to go yachting in a couple of months' time. I kind of said no because we still got the COVID-19, and I don't, I thought it's all a bit too early to plan. But I'm just picturing myself sort of, like deck parties,
Of
you know,
course,
deck
of course.
parties off a
And
yacht. I'm not
tell me
really
the
going to wear it.
lifestyle.
I'm not
Tell
going to
me
wear
the
it when I.
lifestyle you're dreaming of, though. What lifestyle
Well,
you're dreaming of? The lifestyle of like the rich and famous, right? You're thinking of like a nice,
well,
relaxing on the yacht with your Rolex, some
yeah,
champagne, your wife, your
yeah. Oh
beautiful
God,
wife,
yeah, yeah,
dressed up
yeah,
a nice dock suit,
yeah,
Dockers,
yeah,
shorts.
yeah.
You're
Definitely
picturing the
champagne.
lifestyle.
Yeah,
You know, you
gin and tonic for everyone else. I'm not. I don't
that's why
actually
I
drink
think
gin and tonic,
Rolex.
but yeah, champagne.
That's
Definitely.
why I think Rolex is I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's why I think Rolex as a company is genius because they
Mm,
took their brand, they took a regular object like this, right?
yeah,
No
yeah.
different than anything else,
Mm,
and they made you feel like you're on that
yeah,
yacht
yeah,
constantly,
yeah, yeah,
24/7. They
yeah,
make you fantasize about being
yeah,
they make you fantasize about
yeah,
being a king. And
yeah,
I think that's the beauty of Rolex because they tie it into their marketing and basically by making it exclusive
yeah.
we as consumers pick the market. Think about it. We
Yeah, yeah,
control the prices. Think about it. As
definitely.
consumers,
Yeah,
when we're trying to
yeah,
sell our
yeah,
watches,
yeah,
we're picking the prices
yeah,
versus
yeah.
them. They're,
People
they're
are willing
like,
to
okay,
pay the
this is a
prices.
forty
The world
thousand
go
dollar
on. Yeah,
watch. You can wait seven
yeah,
years
yeah.
and get this watch,
Mm,
or you can buy it
mm,
for 20
yeah,
thousand right here. We
yeah,
picked that. That's why Rolex's increased value, and that's the
yeah,
beauty of
yeah,
Rolex
yeah,
that it's 100% consumer
yeah,
brand.
yeah. I I just think that when I eventually do buy a Rolex
Mhm.
and I put it on, I'm just going to feel like $1 million. I'm going, it's just going to have that feel. I mean, at the minute, okay,
Mhm.
I've got it in the drawer next to me. When I go out best, I
Mhm.
tend. It's funny because when I go out sort of casual, sort of more casual best, I tend to wear more browns and like brown strap.
Yeah, I like that.
But when I go out best, I
Mhm.
tend to wear. I've got like black suit and things. I tend to, and so my Seiko cocktail time is got a black strap on. Now, one thing I will say, I do fit when I wear this watch. I just save it for best.
Mhm.
It only cost just over £200.
Yep.
No, it's about probably about the only watch I've got new. No, I've got about two watches new in my collection at the minute.
Mm.
Well, two or three. When I wear this watch, when I wear
Oh my
that,
God, look at that thing.
I don't know if it gets to shine
I'll be
right.
honest with you, I forgot what it looked like, and when you showed it to
Yeah.
me, that was my like I look at that thing.
I tell you what, when
Look at the way the light hits it.
yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah,
upload it when we'll take us a video of it real quick,
yeah,
and I'll put it up there
sure,
for when
sure.
I edit it.
Well,
I won't
yeah.
be able to
So,
put it up for a while though. I thought I'd let you know.
oh no, that's fine. That's
Not
fine.
until like maybe next weekend.
Yeah, that's fine. So I tell you what, I don't know what it is because sometimes it's just because you're out like on a special occasion and then you've got nice clothes on, you made yourself look nice for sharing everything. You're
Mhm.
feeling at your best. You're probably there with family and friends and things. And I put that cocktail time on, and I feel $1 million. And I'm thinking, I can I can imagine what it would be like, if I got something like it could be the Milgauss or Oyster Perpetual, Dangerous, whatever, something similar to what you've got. And I can just imagine that how I would feel that on. It'd be great. Yeah, definitely.
Now let me tell you, it's funny because it's like you feel that way with a good. That's the beauty of watches. You can feel like $1 million for cheap, and that's like why I love watches. It's like for under $1,000, I can feel like $1 million when I go out with a nice watch on.
Oh,
And
definitely. Yeah, yeah,
but when you do have a Rolex, it is a different feeling.
yeah.
It's
So
like
it's
a
special.
feeling
It's a
of
special
success. It
thing.
feels like you
Yeah,
you did something. And
yeah.
sometimes this is gonna sound bad. I know we're not really in
Mm,
it for the attention, but
mm,
I've actually been out sometimes and talking to a really beautiful girl, and
mm.
she goes, she'll like grab my wrist and be like, "Is this a Rolex?" And obviously, like that's not a
They're the
deal I'm
ones to
gonna
be
bring home to
careful of.
mom. That's
Yeah,
that's before I'm like that was before I was with a girlfriend,
yeah.
of course.
They're,
Um,
they're the ones to be. You got to be careful of those girls,
and I'm
Bill.
yeah,
I'm
exactly. You got
afraid
to be careful, but
it might not be you that they're as keen on us as what you own. To be honest, you got to be
exactly. But it's
careful
just
there.
like there's something about it where you're just like when
Mm.
people recognize it, you feel good.
Yeah,
It's like an accomplishment. You feel like you
yeah,
accomplished something, even
yeah,
though it's just
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the beauty. That's the beauty of their marketing. What is your dream watch is the Milgauss.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I do like chronograph watches as well.
Mhm.
So obviously the Daytona. Um, you know, and I do like that. It's funny actually, because I've been really, really. I think the Daytona has been the object of my desire for a long time, watch wise. But I
Mhm.
do like that new. Zenith, sporty Zenith with the the bezel,
The
the similar
Defy,
bezel. Um,
or the
the,
I
the
don't
the
know.
the new one that's a little bit like the Daytona.
I think Zenith might be. I think people say that Zenith is a little bit better than Rolex, just mechanics wise.
Mm.
Um, and I mean, have you ever seen the movements on a friggin' Zenith?
Oh, they just look great, don't they? Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's the same with Omega. Omega's got beautiful movements as well. That's why people get. That's why people hate Rolex is because Rolex doesn't really try. I mean, they never have an open case back, so you
yeah.
don't get to see the movement. They never truly like decorate their movement. I mean, mine's decorated obviously a little bit, but
Mm.
it's pretty plain and simple. It's pretty minimalistic.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nothing decorative on the case back. Think about it.
Mm.
Rolex is just a plain,
Mm.
simple case back.
Mm. Mm.
Jubilee bracelet, like I said, feels a little cheap. Um, and that's why people hate on them. It's because you compare like the beauty and the aesthetics and the art form
Mm.
of a Zenith
Yeah, yeah,
versus a
yeah.
Rolex.
Mm.
But that's the beauty of their marketing. Their marketing makes you
Mm.
feel like you're a king
Yeah,
wearing this
yeah,
and you're a
sure.
commoner wearing that, even though like because the best part
Yeah,
about
yeah.
wearing a Rolex is
Mm.
it's a known brand. Whereas if I went up to someone on the street and I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing a Zenith.
Yeah, they go, never heard of
What?
them. Who are they?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
that's the
no,
beauty of
definitely.
Rolex in there, and that's what I kind of
Mm.
like about Rolex.
Mm.
My
Mm.
dream watch, however, is
Mm.
I love my the Yacht Master 2 with
Yeah.
the
Mm.
subdial and all that other. Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
that's a
Nice. Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful dream grail watch.
Mm. Mm.
I'll probably never buy it. That's if I
Mm.
become a trillionaire.
Yeah,
I
no, they're
think I
really
think
good. Yeah.
as it comes to watches, I mean maybe used, but if I would never buy a new Rolex. I think that spending
Mm.
40, 20K
No.
even, I think if I had a lot of money, if
Mm.
I had a like if I
Yeah.
was a millionaire,
Oh, I would. Yeah.
even if I was a millionaire, the most I'd
Yeah.
spend is
Mm.
10, 15, 20K on a watch, I think.
Mm.
And that's being
Mm.
realistic. Just because I think honestly, if you spend more than 20K on a watch,
Mm.
you kind of I don't know, there's so much more good you could do with that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. I think it'd be nice if you're gonna go for an expensive one though, to have it in precious metal.
Of course, yeah.
I think, to be
Platinum,
honest. Yeah.
gold, something that
Yeah.
will at least keep value. That's the beauty of. That's another thing
And it
about
will
Rolex
keep
is
its
keep
value
value.
then. So it's a good,
Uh,
it's an investment as
but
well.
that's why I say buy it because when you buy it used, anything that's I mean when I buy it new, anything that's
Mm.
new like a new car comes out of the showroom, it loses half its value right there. That's
Yeah,
why
sure.
I would never buy it new from Rolex. I would always buy used
Mm.
because it's
Mhm.
gonna pretty much keep or maintain or increase that value.
Yeah, sure, sure, definitely. Yeah. Um, yeah, just thinking of, I mean, I like them all. I like Explorer as well. Like you've talked about Explorer. I find the Sky Dweller quite interesting. The way that it's got that other time zone and the way it works and everything is pretty special.
And we
Um,
can't talk about Rolex without mentioning Tudor. How do you feel about Tudor?
well, I know how you feel about Tuesday. It's quite
I
funny.
hate them.
I think we have got. I think we're different there. I think this is one. This I spotted a few differences. Oh, that was it. Richard Mill. I like Richard Mill, and you don't. You
Yeah, oh
really
my
don't
God,
like
Richard
Richard
Mille.
Mill. I
No.
do like the Richard Mill watches, and I do like the Tudor watches as well, actually.
Mm.
And I would say I'm just as likely to buy a Tudor or have a Tudor before I have a Rolex. I do like
Why
the
is
Tudor
that though?
watches.
Why? When you could spend the same amount of money on a used Datejust
Mm,
that you would for a
mm.
new
Yeah,
black Black Bay, why would you
yeah.
spend
I
the
think it
3K on a
would.
Black Bay or 4K on a Black Bay when you can buy a used for 4K
Mm.
Rolex?
I think it would go on the watch that I like for the money. So I actually do like the Black Bay, like the hands,
Yeah, but at the end of the
the
day,
snow. The look at
you're
them,
still
look at
getting a
them.
Rolex. But at the end of the day,
Mm,
you're getting that name brand that you like. You know, I mean,
mm,
yeah, you're not getting like
mm,
the Milgauss or you're not getting the
mm,
Explorer, but you're at least getting an entry level brand name that you can at least
mm,
say that you have an like you can at least not say,
mm.
but at least you can have that like dream. You know, you can have that yacht fantasy come to life.
Yeah, I think it just depends. I mean, I know I have come close to buying the Ranger, the Tudor Ranger before, which is
I haven't seen that
quite
before.
a field sort of watch.
I have to
It's a
look
bit
it
like
up
it's a bit
now.
like the Explorer, really, very similar
Oh,
to
really?
Explorer. But and in fact, I have
Is it an
actually tried.
homage? Because they're known for doing those homages.
No. I think it's
Oh,
just
good.
their own version. And I have actually tried it on, and I think that's the closest I've come to buying. And I've come pretty close to buying a second-hand one. But the only thing I find with the Ranger is the the bracelet has got straight ends, which is bizarre. Yeah.
Really?
No, they don't make an. I think if they made a nice fitted bracelet, I know that the ID guy got had a video out about a day ago, and he was sort of saying there's a possibility that they will bring a new Ranger out, and it will have a fitted bracelet and things, and he slightly changed the design. Um, it's worth, maybe it's worth putting a link on afterwards.
Well, I guess this is
And
a downfall for you, is
you go.
because. Oh, I'm so sorry. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was just saying that is what he came up with for the next version of the Ranger. Look pretty good to me. So I suppose if there's something like that I liked, the other one I looked at with the Tudor was the one with the Pepsi bezel,
Hmm.
um, and the Jubilee bracelet. And in
Oh,
fact,
okay.
there was several month waiting list for that. That had just
You're kidding me.
when they bought that out, there was quite a long waiting list, and I put my name down at Nottingham, and months and months later, I'd actually got a call, just out of the blue, and it was like, oh yeah, with some such jewelers in Nottingham. Are you still interested in buying this Tudor? I can't remember the name of the one with the Pepsi bezel and Jubilee bracelet. And at the time, I sort of wasn't, but I still find that a really nice watch.
That's not
Um,
bad.
so I don't know. Yeah, we do. I knew we like I say that I think that the two things I found we do differ on is I like Richard Mille and I like Tudor, and you're not so keen on either. So, but yeah,
So,
there's going to be differences.
I think this comes back to the beauty of Rolex is Rolex isn't customizable like that much. You know, you get a watch, they don't really make leather straps, they don't make different straps you can buy, they don't make different straps or
Mhm.
very many colorways that you can change up. And you're big on changing straps, you're
Mm.
big on customization,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're big on different options.
Mm.
So this is where I think Rolex is genius. With Tudor, this is
Mm.
where I give Tudor credit. Tudor, they were like, you know, let's give them those
Mm.
customizations. Let's make leather straps. Let's make this. Let's do that. So
Yeah.
you can get like that cool customization with Tudor. Whereas me, I'm not into customization. I like to watch the way it is. I buy it for what it is. And sometimes I do customize, sometimes I don't. Speaking of that, speaking of customization, I recently just got in the mail a Orient Sea King. I'm gonna have a video coming up soon.
Mm.
It came with this band. You would have thought a 2-year-old made that strap. It was like the cheapest thing I've ever felt. And I thought of you, and I was like, you know what? Dean always changes bands. You know what? I'm just gonna put a
Yeah.
NATO on it, and I put a
Yeah.
NATO on it. It is.
NATO straps are
I
so comfortable to wear.
I hated the watch at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Now I love it, and so that's where I got the idea. I want to eventually, when my channel starts growing, buy. I'm talking to a distributor in China, and
Mm.
they're making these NATO straps for me, different colorways,
Oh
different
wow. Yeah.
colors,
Yeah. It's a
and
good
it's gonna
idea.
say snob on the bracelet, on the buckle. It's gonna say snob
Yeah.
engraved, and they're gonna
Yeah.
send it to me. It's like it comes to $4 a bracelet, which isn't
Oh,
bad,
I can't really
and
go
I'm
wrong
gonna
with
give them
that.
away for
Yeah.
free. So the whole
Yeah.
point is I'm asking for donations, or I'm
Mm.
asking for
Mm.
people to help buy things, or
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm selling watches too to try to raise money
I
so that
think
I can
you'll
buy
have to get your
these.
own shop eventually, won't you?
I
As you
have
become,
I have
you
my own
know,
store. It's called twomix.com. Look it
bigger and
up.
more
It's
known. Yeah.
yeah, look it up. I actually have
I've
my own
clicked on the
clothing
link
store.
actually
Yeah.
and seen that.
So
Yeah.
I'm but I'm gonna be giving away these straps for free. You're gonna get one, and I'm gonna buy 100 of them. And
Mm.
I only have 3 inches of subscribers, so you know
Mm.
everyone gets a chance to,
Mm.
all my close friends get them, and then
Yeah.
the rest I'm giving away.
I'll buy a couple off you. I'll send you a bit of money. I'll PayPal you a bit of money and buy a couple off you.
No, I'd send them to you for free. You've
Well,
been with me
no, I mean
since the
just
beginning.
to help you
You're
out with
you're a
the.
friend. You're a friend. You don't have to worry about it. It's like I want to do it for the fans. I'm gonna send them for free. And then
Yes.
people
Yeah.
who are like just subscribing, go ahead and buy them. I mean, yeah, by
Yeah.
all means. And what's cool about that gift is I gave out shirts recently, and
Yes, I saw
in the
that. Yeah, you
States,
had
and
them all
I gotta send you yours
channel.
soon. But
Mm.
I gave out shirts, and people were on the Facebook pages taking pictures and sending them to me and posting it on Facebook. And they were
Oh
like, "Look
wow.
what Billy
Yeah.
Denti sent me." So what I thought is, it's
Yeah.
one of those gifts that keep on giving, especially in the watch industry.
Mm,
If you have a strap, right, when you trade with people, sometimes you give
mm,
them straps. If you don't like that strap, you can give it to someone. Someone's gonna get that strap and like it and go, "What's Snob say?" They're gonna look
yeah.
up my channel. Boom, marketing
Yeah.
101. Those are
Yeah.
gonna be gifts that keep on giving, and they're gonna be cool, stylish, and customizable, fun. So
Well, I
that's
tell
my
you what,
ultimate goal.
when I'm at the deck party in a yacht,
Mhm.
um, sipping my champagne, I'm gonna have a Rolex. I'm going to have a snob NATO. I'm gonna have one of your NATOs and your T-shirt, and I'm going to take some photos,
If
and
you take some
I'm gonna put it
photos,
on your Instagram page, etc.
I will frame that. I will actually frame that, and I will hang it in my. You will become part of my set for life.
I'll do a
That would
selfie. I'll do a
that would
selfie
mean
wearing the band and the T-shirt.
that would mean the world to me. I'm not even joking, because Dean, like, this isn't
Mm,
me blowing smoke up your ass. You were
mm.
like when I first got into YouTube, you were my first friend. Like,
Oh
I was
wow.
nervous. It's
Oh
scary,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't talk to anybody. I didn't know anything
yeah,
about the social media platform.
yeah.
And I saw you. We were kind of on the same level.
Mm,
You had a little bit more followers. I had like 50. You had like
mm,
90 or 100, whatever you
mm.
have currently.
Oh,
And
I don't know. No, I've only got 53 at the
53. Well,
minute.
you had so much more than me, and I was like, okay, this is someone I can talk to.
Yeah.
And I wanted to
So,
talk to you, and you had so many. You get so many comments on your videos. You get so many people. You have a good following,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I was like, you know
I
what? I
think
want to
most
get
of
to
them
know
are
this guy, and
friends. Yeah.
I'm
Mm.
so glad that I got to know you, because like I love doing these fireside. I call them
Yeah.
fireside. I put them in my. You know what fireside chats are? Um, I'm in communications, and when the radio was first invented,
Mm, mm,
FDR
mm.
did these things called fireside chats, where he'd call his buddies up and be like, "Want to be on the radio?" And he'd just be like, "Okay, it's depressing out there, guys. Let's talk about something
Mm.
fun." Right
Yeah,
now, we're
sure.
in a depressing
Mm.
time of our life, and whenever
Well,
I get to talk to you, it's like a fireside chat. I
oh,
get to
brilliant.
have
Yeah.
fun and
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
talk across the
yeah.
pond. It's fun.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. It's quite funny today actually. You saying this because I had gone on the like I said, I'd actually watched the ID guy for his predictions of what Rolex and Tudor were going to come out with this morning.
mhm.
Probably a bit of research. It's the only video I watched, and there was a um, somebody got a really good name, and I thought that sounds like the name of somebody who's got a video channel, and I can't think what it was now. I knew I was going to write it down and I forgot.
Oh
I'm terrible.
shoot.
I think it's my age. Got an head like a sieve. Can't remember, but I'll probably put it in afterwards. Anyway, I thought that's a really good name. I'll click on that. It's probably got a really good channel. So I clicked on it, and this person had got one. I'd only ever made one video, and that was about 3 days ago. He'd got no subscribers, and on this video that he'd put out, he'd had 3 views. So I watched this video, and it was a Rolex. It was it got some sort of tuxedo dial or something,
Uh-huh.
and it was obviously quite a young chap. I mean, you didn't see him, but from his voice, and he came across that he might have been about, I don't know, 15, 16 years old,
Mhm.
and it was an half decent video. So I subscribed, and I was his first subscriber, and I was going to put a comment on, but
Dean, comment, because
I
you
couldn't.
inspire people. You
He
inspire
said,
people.
yeah, he set it up so I couldn't
Uh-huh.
comment. I was gonna put something real nice comment on
Oh,
and
you're
everything
kidding
and
me.
really encourage him. And
What an
yeah, I
asshole.
don't think he'd done it on purpose, mate. Maybe he just didn't know.
Mhm.
But I think what again afterwards we could put a link to him on
Yeah,
our page and try and get him a few.
definitely. I would love
Yeah,
to. I would love to incorporate them. Yeah, send me the name and stuff.
yeah.
Um,
I send you the channel definitely. Yeah.
this has nothing to do with. This is kind of a side. Oh, we can't do screen sharing. I'll send you the link.
Mm.
This watchwinder, a guy sent it to me. This is my. This is just me
Mm.
talking. A
That's
guy
the
sent it
Alpina
to
in
me,
that, isn't it? Yeah.
and I customized it so it came completely different. I put like not a watch. It says snob, like watch right there.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
customized it, made it
Yeah.
silver and stuff like that.
Mm.
It was only $100. They're pretty cheap.
Mm. Mm.
Whereas these watch winders usually go for like thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, three hundred
I know
dollars
you can. Yeah, you can pay a lot. Mm.
for the gyro one. So $100, some guy makes it in his garage. So I said to the guy, I go, hey, I'm gonna make a video for you,
Mm.
just for fun. So I
Yeah.
made him a video that he can share for his friends, and I said, and I sent it to him. And I go, but for $80, I can make you a professional video. And I wanted to show you the
Mm.
video. If you can, do you know how to enable screen sharing real quick?
Um, Yeah, or do you want after we've done this the chat?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
want
of
to
course. That's what I was.
maybe,
Yeah, I
maybe
was
do it
gonna do it
afterwards? Yeah,
after.
yeah, we
Yeah,
could do
yeah,
it
yeah.
after we've done the
After the
chat.
chat. That's what I was gonna do afterwards. Yeah,
Definitely, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, definitely. I tell you
So,
what, I haven't
oh,
done
you can
a.
check. Can I? Oh, that's what I
Hmm.
wanted to get to was. Can I plug them real quick?
Oh yeah, that is really good. That is that the movement of that. That's really
So it's
good.
called Lost in Time.
Mm,
Lost in Time
I like that.
Industries, and
Mm,
you can find it at
mm,
lostintimeindustries.com. And yeah,
mm,
he makes watch winders. I said that like I said, they're $100. Tell
mm,
him Not a Watch Snob sent you. And yeah, they come in many colorways. There's blue and silver,
mm,
black and blue,
mm,
gold and blue, and then I think there's yellow and black,
mm,
and
mm.
they are so cool.
I did have a winder actually when uh, I've been collecting about 6 years, about sort of 5.5 years ago. I
Mhm.
got a winder, and I I just paid like like 20-30 pound for it, which is about 20-25 dollars
Yep.
ish for it, $30, let's say.
Mhm.
And as you can imagine, it lasted about 5 or 6 months and then just stopped working. Gave it to an engineer friend of mine to try and fix it, but unfortunately didn't manage to fix it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But to be honest, there's always a lot of debate on these watch winders, and
Mhm.
certainly people new to the hobby like I was then. And it seemed a good idea. I'd only got a couple of automatic watches and I thought it'd be great. I could wear one and keep the other one going and things like that. But
Mhm.
I find now part of the enjoyment is the actual winding it up, setting the time on it, and you've just got that sort of quality time with your watch you can spend.
And I agree with that.
Like
I
that in a
agree with that
way.
100%. But the thing that I like about this is that this is like a decorative piece. Like I
Yeah,
can put a watch in there,
that is
put it
good.
on my desk, and it goes all day and it stops.
Mm,
Goes all day, stops. And when I'm like have friends over or when I'm doing this, it just
mm,
will play and like it's really cool. It's really mesmerizing.
mm.
That gyroscope is it. You know,
It looked really
it's
good.
really
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
It's really
yeah.
fun.
Mm,
Yeah. So like I had a watch winder too, and I never used it. I had a watch winder that was
mm.
just a regular. You put it in the case, and it just kind of goes.
The
And
mine was like that.
I never used it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I'm glad I splurged on this because I've been looking for a gyroscope watch winder. I love aesthetics. Like I'm big on like big and bold. Like that's my sort of mantra. So I
yeah.
think this is really fire. I love the
No,
look
it's
of
really,
this.
it is. It looks really
Yeah.
cool. I like the movement of it and things. I say mine was just a bit of a,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
fun
yeah,
and like I said, like I mean for like a really professional one. I mean this is a really professional one, but for like a name brand one, there's like a couple thousand. I know I saw some name brand ones for a couple thousand or even like $400 or $500. And I like what he's doing, especially because he's making it with a 3D printer. He's doing it in his garage, and COVID, you got to support local business. So
yeah, yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
that.
I haven't done a wristwatch check yet.
Ooh, you're right.
So
What are you wearing, Dean?
I'm building up. So let's give you a little introduction. So I've just actually made which I know I made a video review of my Seiko Samurai Paddy. I wore that for
Very beautiful.
16 days because I tend to like to wear it for several days before I do the video. So I'm sort of, I'm living with it and I'm thinking about it. So that helped me do the review, and
Mhm.
then wear it while I make the review. I'm not the quickest at making these. I don't know how some people make them so quick. It just takes me a couple of weeks to make the reviews. And I recently put that on the steel bracelet, so it's really big and heavy.
Mhm.
Quite a big watch. So wore that for 16 days, and then straight afterwards, it's about 3 or 4 days ago, I
Mhm.
put my Boulder Venture on,
Oh
which
wow,
is really small, 38 millimeters.
that's not really
No,
small. That's
very
nice. Yeah.
short lug length, titanium on a
Uh huh.
NATO. So it was a total opposite. It was very light. You couldn't. I didn't even know it was on my wrist. It was just so nice for a few days.
Uh-huh.
And then yesterday, with nice sunny weather over in England, I thought, well, while I take the dog a walk, I can start capturing a bit of some photos, some video, my next but one review. I'll
Mhm.
explain mine in a minute. So I actually changed from the venture and I put my Nodus Trieste on, which
Oh
is
wow.
no
Oh wow.
my Nodus Trieste, and
That's beautiful.
I've
Look at that
actually
strap.
today, yeah, I
Hell
did it on a
yeah.
green strap yesterday,
Uh huh.
and it got wet. When I got back, it got wet because I've been not chucking, but placing the watch in
Mhm.
waterfalls and things to get some videos and some, shots and things of it.
Yeah.
And I came back and I thought I better just quickly wash the strap off, some nice clean water. And so the strap I put on my desk, and I thought, well, it'd be good to change it. I can get some more shots if I go out, when I go out walking the dog today. So
Mhm.
this is the vintage Bond Nato,
It's tough.
and I'm a big Bond fan.
I
So
know
this
you
is
are.
this
Yeah.
is the original that he wore, the Submariner.
All
So
you Brits are. Come
there's,
on.
there's a bit of a link here. That I think
It's your
I
hero.
believe this is what Sean Connery wore on the Submariner. This
You're
vintage,
kidding me.
because
Wow. Yeah.
for a long time I think they thought it was just black and sort of grey sort of color, but then they
Mhm.
realised it was this color with this is like a khaki green, and this is a bit of a sort
Oh,
of
wow. That's
more
khaki
almost red,
green. I can see
and
that
then
now. That's
almost a bit
gorgeous.
more
It almost looks gray, but it's
reddish or
got that
whatever.
green. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and then
And that's
black.
like a maroon
So
red.
I
Yeah.
think once when they
Crimson
actually
underneath.
sort of looked at that original Bond film closer, they
Mhm.
realised that what he actually wore was this one. So this gets referred to as the vintage Bond, where the sort of black and grey
Gray.
one gets referred to as the Bond Nato. This is the vintage Bond, and
So that's the
actually
official one. Yeah. That's the
this is
nicer
the
one.
original one, the vintage Bond.
Well, that has more
Um,
depth, more depth than
which
the other one.
I prefer, and obviously it's got the matching black to go
Mhm.
with the black case. So this Nodus Trieste was the first watch that Nodus built. Nodus actually celebrating their 5th anniversary next year.
Really?
So it would be 4.5 years ago that they bought this very first watch out, the Nodus Trieste, which I think is excellent. It's just perfect size, about 41 millimeters diameter,
That's
pretty
awesome.
thin. You have the choice of either a Seiko or a Swiss movement. This has got the Swiss movement in,
Mhm.
and absolutely fantastic watch. Just can't
That's
fault it at
awesome.
all. And they actually assemble their watches in America,
Mhm.
and then they regulate it in 4 different positions, and they give you a little card with all the regulation and everything on. So
That's
just a
awesome.
great company. Yeah, really, really great. One of my 2 favorite micro brands, Boulder and Nodus, being my 2 favorite micro brands, of course.
Here's where we differ a little bit, I think, and it's
Mm,
like this is one of our differences as well. Is
mm,
I like more
mm. Yeah,
mainstream
yeah,
brands,
yeah, yeah.
and you like more micro brands,
Mm.
and I love that about
Seiko
us
and
because
micro brands, yeah, are my thing.
I do
Mm,
respect a good micro brand. Like I love micro
mm,
brands. I just happen to not buy a lot, and
mm,
I mean that's beautiful. I like micro brands that just because you can get so much. You're really into the whole value for money. You like that. I'm
mm,
more into the
mm.
aesthetics. Like I
Yeah,
like
sure.
the romance of having a watch.
Mm.
The
Yeah,
aesthetics
I
of
think
it.
I kind of buy what I like. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Would I ever bought anything mainstream? I'm not sure ever. I seem to in the 6 years that
You got
I've
the
sort of
Seikos though. Seikos are
so
mainstream.
I was Seiko's, yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously they're in-house movement and everything. But I think in the sort of 5.5, 6 years I've been collecting watches, I've probably bought and sold probably close on 30 watches, and I'm just trying. I
And
think
I
they've
like that
all
about you
they've all
too
been
because you
Seiko and
keep them
micro
and then you
brands.
trade them. You keep them and trade them. Keep them and trade them.
I like that
Me, I'll
side
keep
though.
them and then I'll be
Yeah,
like, "What the hell am I doing?"
yeah. I quite I've always all my life been into sort of buying and selling anyway.
You're definitely
I
smarter when it
enjoy
comes to
that.
this sort of stuff. Than you're definitely smart when it comes to your trading. I like that the way you do it and the way you because I'm just an idiot with my money. I'm just like, oh, this looks two
No,
thousand
but
dollars. That's easy,
But
and then
well,
I
you
end
say
up
that. I
going,
mean,
yeah,
but you've done well, haven't you? Because your Rolex you bought for 2,000. Now is what? Did you say 5,500? So
yeah.
go back to
Like I do
Rolex.
have my money tied up.
So but that's not
So
so. But the thing is, you can sell them anytime you want. So you. I don't. I
mhm.
mean, I'm guessing what have you got now? Say about 25 watches. Have you got maybe 20,
Yeah, roughly.
25?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
but you might one day in the near future think, well, this I don't know. I've always got about 10 watches I don't wear. I'll just go out and sell 10 watches. Or you
Mhm.
might you might want a particular watch. You might want one of the Rolexes and think,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna, I haven't got the money at the minute. I'm going to sell X amount of watches to buy that Rolex. So you've just got loads of choices, haven't you?
Oh,
Really?
perfect.
Hey, that was a really good episode. Anyway, Bill.
Yeah, I think
So
so too.
yeah, thanks guys. Thanks to everyone for listening. This on our episode 2, Rolex. So yeah, this was Not a Watch Snob and One to Watch.